Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. Today you're not getting an opening meme because we're doing cool guides. I've never been on the subreddit before, so we're gonna check it out together. I feel like some of these are just gonna be like useful knowledge that's just gonna like bounce around in your brain and just come out at random points. Some of it is actually maybe gonna be helpful, at least to some of you. So that's what we're doing today, but you know the deal. Just because we're doing something different doesn't mean you don't need to get hydrated. So grab some water, or some tea, or whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll continue. Are you hydrated? Good. Let's go. Starting off really strong, how to fix 9 common sleep problems, because who of us even sleeps well? Can't fall asleep. I feel like this is kind of obvious. Avoid caffeine several hours before bedtime. Exercise in the morning or afternoon, and put your phone away at least an hour before your bedtime, which, yes, I know, we all struggle with. Can't stay asleep. Avoid alcohol before bed, since it can decrease the amount of time you spend in deep REM sleep. Make sure your room is set between 68 and 71 degrees Fahrenheit, which is between 20 and like 22 degrees Celsius for the people who aren't American. Can't wake up. Try to wake up around the same time every day, even on the weekends, so your body gets used to it. Snoring. Try sleeping on your side or propping your head up a few inches. You can also clear out your sinuses with saline before bed and avoid alcohol. Acid reflux. Talk to your doctor about medication options and try sleeping on your left side on an elevated pillow. Leg cramps. You can try massaging the area, applying heat to the muscle and stretching to relieve the pain. Neck pain. Replace your pillows at least every 2 years. People reported firm latex pillows were the most comfortable in a study. Shoulder pain. Don't sleep on your side. If you're a side sleeper and the pain's only in one shoulder, try sleeping on the other side. Hugging a pillow might help. Back pain. Add a pillow under your thighs if you sleep on your stomach, or under your legs if you sleep on your back. There's a whole National Sleep Foundation. Well, amazing. Anyways. I feel like some of these tips we've all heard by now of, avoid alcohol, because some people say alcohol helps them fall asleep, but it makes your quality of sleep just so much worse. And I feel like stay off your phone or off screens in general. Honestly, I don't. And it kind of depends on what kind of brain you have, because if you've been here, you know I also have ADHD, and that particularly kind of makes it difficult. But most phones kind of have like a night shift mode, so you can like at least filter the light out a bit so the colors are a bit more gentle on your brain. You know, if you have a hard time just staying off your phone completely, maybe just do that, you know? And as for the others, I'm really glad I don't have back pain or neck pain or anything, because I cannot stay still in my sleep. So if I were to like try to sleep on my back, which I find impossible to fall asleep like in that position anyways, I'm just gonna be turning like 100 times a night. So I'm really glad I don't need to follow any of these tips on the right. Okay, are hot showers better or cold showers? I feel like we all have a preference. I usually like hot showers. The hotter, the better. I've been trying to take colder showers because I like hot showers and it's comfortable, but I just get overstimulated from them so quickly. But let's see what the benefits are of each. Cold water prevents colds, tightens the skin, reduces tension in mind, stimulates the immune system, and accelerates the metabolism. Hot water reduces tiredness, reduces headaches, relaxes the muscles, relieves nasal congestion, opens pore, and cleanses skin. Also, has it been debunked by now of just like taking like a warm shower or a hot shower and then just turning the water cold towards the end? That was a trend for a while. I don't know if it's good. I feel like a lot of people might become dizzy if they do that. Or just find it even more uncomfortable than just showering cold to begin with. But there you go. Depending on what you're trying to achieve with your shower, you might just use both of these options at any given time. Plants even you can't kill. Christmas cactus, air plant, snake plant, spider plant, peace lily, prayer plant, aloe vera, String of pearls, zebra haworthia. Let me tell you something. I have a lot of plants, and a lot of them are doing really well. And they have been doing well for a long time. But I have managed to kill 2 aloe plants, so I do not trust this. But yeah, like snake plants and air plants are just very low maintenance, really. So they're really difficult to kill. Peace lilies? I don't know if it's just mine. Mine randomly throws out brown leaves every once in a while, but it's still doing very well. It keeps blooming. So it can't be that unhappy. Like some plants, when they bloom, it means they're unhappy, but I don't think that's the case with peace lilies. You know, but I feel like a lot of these are really actually gonna be difficult to kill. Same with a lot of cacti. I feel like most people will not manage to kill a cactus. Because you can literally just kind of put it somewhere where it gets fairly enough light, because if you put it somewhere dark, it is going to like shrivel up and die. But if you put it somewhere with like fairly good light and remember to water it every couple of weeks, it'll be fine. You know, if you tend to overcare for your plants, maybe don't pick a cactus. I feel like this one specifically might actually be helpful, at least in theory, because I feel like the actual putting all of this into practice is gonna be harder. But let's check out the key to avoiding stress and burnout, how to rest and recover properly. First of all, understanding the 7 types of rests. Physical rest, high quality sleep and exercise. Mental rest, taking consistent breaks to calm down. Sensory rest, reducing the sensory overload. Social rest, building positive relationships with people. Spiritual rest, finding your purpose and belonging. Emotional rest, opening up about your emotions. Creative rest, using different sources to inspire creativity. 9 steps to incorporating these into your life. 1. Start small and build up. Introduce small moments of rest into your day. Even 5 minutes of quiet time or a brief walk can bring benefits. 2. Experiment to find what works best for you. Everyone's rest needs are unique, so explore different activities to see what feels most rejuvenating for you. 3. Be intentional about your rest. Pay attention to what kind of rest you need at different times. E.g., if your brain feels fried, it's probably time for some mental rest. 4. Schedule time for rest. Just as you do with work meetings, make time for rest in your calendar. This commitment ensures you prioritize your well-being even when life gets busy. Focus on the benefits, whether it's to improve mental clarity, increase energy levels, or reduce stress. Keep the benefits of rest in mind to motivate you to continue. 6. Combine different types of rests. Combine different types of rest to gain multiple benefits, e.g., a quiet walk in nature can provide physical, sensory, and spiritual rest. 7. Set boundaries to protect your rest time. Learn to say no to activities that threaten to take away from your rest time. Setting boundaries is essential to ensure you get the rest you need. 8. Stay open to adjusting your approach. As your life changes, so will your rest needs. Be open to adjusting your rest practices as your circumstances evolve. 9. Share your rest practices with others. Encourage friends and family to prioritize rest too. Share your experiences and create a more restful community around you. Because, once again, if you're like me, you may read this and become super inspired and maybe start to overwhelm yourself more by just kind of creating a way you could get all these different types of rest, like what you can do to improve each area and like things you can do. Which is not a bad idea, and I really want to make an Excel spreadsheet right now of all the different types of rest and how I can like fit anything into my week really. Which I might still do actually. I should not have filmed this before work because now I don't want to work, I want to do this. But anyways, overall, kind of keeping this in the back of your mind might actually be helpful, because I know a lot of people, like especially if you have to work long hours or multiple jobs, it can be really difficult to even find the time or energy to do this, because you have like so many things you need to take care of and so many, you know, like especially if you have kids and or family members you have to take care of as well. It's gonna be difficult, but kind of just keeping this in the back of your mind and not trying for a perfect approach, which yes, I struggle with too. But like kind of trying to live this picture perfect life of, oh, I'm a wellness influencer and I do all these things every day is so unrealistic for most people. So keeping that in mind and just like not striving for that versus just kind of trying to see where you can maybe carve out a few minutes, just a few minutes, to incorporate some of these ways to rest. And just like kind of checking in like each day when you have like a few minutes, which of those rest you probably need, you know, might be a good idea actually. Effective tea remedies: sore throat, cinnamon tea; common cold, honey lemon tea; insomnia, chamomile tea; sinus infection, turmeric ginger tea; bloating, peppermint tea; acne, green tea; anxiety, basil tea; headache, ginger tea. Okay, I find these things kind of difficult. Just for the specific reason that I know some people go crazy with this, and I was like, no, herbal teas are all I need to take care of literally any issues I might have health-wise. That seems like a kind of wrong approach to me, you know, but kind of trying to see if maybe you can just like clear up whatever issue you have with something like herbal tea or something first, or at least help. Like with something like acne, drinking green tea, no matter how much green tea you drink, is not gonna like magically fix it. But doing it as a way to help, along with like other treatments from your dermatologist or whatever, is probably still gonna be like good. And at the same time, as long as you don't overdo it, if you don't drink like 2 liters of green tea a day, I feel like you can definitely help more than you could do harm. Then again, I have never found cinnamon tea anywhere. Is that not a thing in Germany? Because A, I love cinnamon and it sounds really good. And I need to find cinnamon sticks. I really need to find some cinnamon sticks. Well, anyways, feel free to save this, you know, in case you struggle with one of these at some point and feel like you're not gonna remember on your own. Can my cat eat that? Sure. Cooked eggs, salmon, spinach, chicken, rice, pumpkin, broccoli, peas, cantaloupe, beef. In moderation. Tuna, apples, yogurt, peanut butter, cheese, blueberries, bread, bananas. Not recommended. Corn, bacon, milk, dog food, liver. Nope. Avocado, bones, onion, alcohol, chocolate, raisins, garlic, grapes, candy, or coffee. And I have a similar one of, can my dog have this? Go for it. Remember, your dog's diet should primarily be dog food. Even people foods that are okay for dogs to eat don't have anything they need for a complete nutrition. Plain popcorn, apples, bananas, peanut butter, watermelon, carrot, celery, plain yogurt, raspberries, pumpkin, pear, zucchini, cucumbers, pickles, mango, pineapple, sweet potato, turmeric, broccoli, honey, adult dogs only, blueberries, chamomile tea. In small quantities, and it must be fully cooked. Kale, chickpeas, marshmallows, eggs, rice, oatmeal, spinach, quinoa, coconut products, cheese, bologna, cashew, oranges, shrimp, potatoes, fish, and kiwi. Avoid it. In addition to the big no-no foods, pups don't process fats and sugars and other people food components the same way that we do. Adding these to a dog's diet can cause obesity, organ failure, and worse. Bacon, fat and trim mix, beef jerky, tofu, cooked bones, pomegranate, corn or corn cobs, mint, bread, pepperoni, ice cream, milk, even lactose-free milk. Toxic. It's hard to say no to puppy dog eyes, but sometimes a treat for you is toxic for your furry friend. Like nutmeg, avocado, cinnamon, almond, pecans, walnuts, macadamia nuts, artificial sweeteners, grapefruit, chives, grapes and raisins, alcohol, caffeine, chocolate, fruit bits, garlic, and onions. Now, rather than kind of just taking it as a guide of what your dog or cat can or cannot eat, I feel like maybe just keeping this in mind if you have pets and keeping certain human foods out of your pet's reach is maybe a better approach, because yeah, well, if you run out of like cat food and feed them tuna for the night before you can go grocery shopping the next day, sure. But still, kind of just locking some things away better, especially if you have cats that like to open cabinets, might be a good idea because you don't want to risk them accidentally poisoning themselves, you know? So maybe just take it as a guide for that. I personally don't have pets, but I feel like it might actually be helpful because, yeah, we all know chocolate is toxic to dogs, but there are a lot of things that your pets really shouldn't eat. Does this actually count as a guide? It's like the way Pepsi cans look over the years, and holy shit. The original ones, to me, personally, just look so horrendous. There are people that kind of find this like vintage style really cool. Oh my god, no. It's not even a can, is it a can? It looks like a glass bottle with a cap, but anyways. Like, the 1967 one is kind of cool. And then it got worse again, somehow. But maybe that's just like my personal taste, because honestly, like the 1997 and after look kind of normal to me, even though the logo changed. The logo changed so much in and of its own. But the dark blue cans, I'm just used to, I guess. But still, I don't know, like, is it a guide if it's not really telling you how to do something? But it's still a really cool chart and I really like this. The world's top 25 websites. Place number 1, Google. Unsurprising. 2, YouTube. I'm actually kind of surprised it is still that high. I kind of figured like other social media would be higher by now, but okay. 3, Facebook. 4, Twitter. 5, Instagram. 6, Baidu. 7, Wikipedia. 8, Yandex. 9, Yahoo. 10, X videos. Really? That's okay. 11, WhatsApp. Really, a porn website is over WhatsApp. Okay, anyways. 12, we have another porn website. 13, xnxx.com. I don't know what this is, but it sounds suspicious. 14, Amazon. 15, TikTok. But that's just because no one visits the website and everyone uses the app, right? 16, live.com. 17, openai.com, which hosts the popular AI to ChatGPT, so that's gonna rise significantly because it has been rising a lot. 18, Reddit. 19, docomo.com.jp. 20, LinkedIn. 21, Netflix. 22, office.com. 23, Yahoo. 24, DAZN.ru, and 25, bing.com. Really, I don't know anyone who actually uses Bing. But then again, this is why it's worldwide, because I feel like it might just be a German thing not to use it, and I feel like maybe people do. But anyways, some of these were surprising. I'm not surprised that certain adult websites are on here, but I'm kind of surprised by the placement actually. Although not that much, because yeah, a lot of people do, but this is honestly just kind of cool to see. Stain, go away. In case you don't have a mother or grandmother, you can ask for helpful tips. Mustard. Work glycerine into the stain or sponge with rubbing alcohol. Fruit. Pour boiling water through stain from several feet above. Grass. Rub detergent into the stain with bleach that is safe for fabric. Ketchup. Soak in cold water, rub detergent into the stain and wash. Rust. Cover it with lemon juice and salt, then place in the sun. Grease. Soak in club soda. Lipstick. Rub detergent into the stain until outline disappears, then wash with warm water. Chocolate. Soak in cold water or sponge with hydrogen peroxide, rinse and wash. Mud. Let stain dry, then brush well, soak in cold water, wash in hot water, sponge with rubbing alcohol. Ink. Apply hairspray and rub with dry cloth, put rubbing alcohol on area before washing. Coffee. Pour boiling water through the stain. Wax. Put area between brown paper bag and press with warm iron. Just a general overview, because the first instinct might be that hot water helps, but for something like blood, it's also better to remove it with like cold water first and maybe like soak it in cold water to remove it. You know, because stains are different and obviously something different is going to work for everything. So if you either want to save this or just Google it if you end up having a stain in your clothes, you know, then feel free. How much sugar is in Fanta? The amount of sugar in 100 ml Fanta Orange, less than 5 grams per 100 milliliter, 5 to 10 grams, and more than 10 grams. Like, listen, I am aware, or I was aware, that American soda, or like soda in the US versus soda in Europe is different, and that the composition is different. I was not aware that it's this different in Europe alone. Because it's not even like gradual from like west to east or whatever. It's just all over the place. What is this? And also 7.6 in 100. I don't drink Fanta that much, so I didn't know, but this seems wild to me that even in Europe there is just like such a difference. Heimlich maneuver for dogs. A. Head facing down like a wheelbarrow. B. Swipe from side to side to see if you can dislodge the object. C. Compress the abdomen by pushing up with your fists. D. A sharp blow between your pet's shoulder blades might do the trick. I just want everyone to know to save dogs because I love dogs more than most people. This comment alone just seems fair. Like, I feel like a lot of people know how to do a Heimlich on people, which is important because just because you don't particularly like someone doesn't mean you actually want them to physically choke to death, you know? So it might be important, but that doesn't mean a lot of people don't have dogs and might need this for dogs. If you have a smaller dog, you might need to be a little bit more careful, especially with the last step, you know? You don't want to hit them too hard. But yeah, this is originally what I meant with helpful, but I kind of realized that we have a lot of other ones that were maybe like slightly helpful as well. But this one is the one I originally meant with. This might actually be really helpful for some people. 16 of the best hanging plants for low light. Photos, spider plant, English ivy, philodendron, ZZ plant, string of pearls, golden pothos, Chinese evergreen, Boston fern, nerve plant, arrowhead plant, prayer plant, cast iron plant, peace lily, trade scantia, staghorn fern. Now once again, I have no idea if I pronounce all of these right. I might have plant people in my comments wanting to correct me. So sorry about that. But generally, ZZ plants specifically, the cool thing about ZZ plants that are also like black ZZ plants. They're not just like the green variant, you can also have a black variant which just looks so much cooler. I'm sorry, I wear a lot of black. It's not that obvious right now with this shirt, but I wear a lot of black, so obviously, I mean, I also have the miniature version that is like smaller, and we have, I think, 2 black ones because they just look cooler. But also the arrowhead plant, a lot of people struggle with these. Mine is doing really well somehow, and I really still don't get why. That's the thing. Like, a lot of plants just do well, and I have no idea why. You know, but as long as it works, don't mess with it too much, I guess. An overview of different pencils. I feel like if you're like an art student or you're just like into art, you're probably already gonna know this, but if not, I just thought it looked kind of cool, so I wanted to include it. I don't get the way these are, like, you start off with the thick B ones, that's kind of fine, right? But then BHB kind of makes sense. Where does the F come from? If anyone knows pencils, please let me know in the comments, because if I start to Google that now, I literally will not get to work today, because I will just be reading about pencils. So if anyone has the short explanation, please let me know. And then the H. But that kind of also makes sense, right, to have the H, but where does the F literally come from? A guide to no mushrooms. Button, aka white. They taste subtle and earthy. You can use them in salads, raw, or sauteed dishes. Shiitake, savory, meaty, umami. You can use them in meat dishes, soups, and sauces. Portobello, mild but meaty. You can use them grilled or sauteed, or as a meat substitute. Gramini, mild, slightly meaty. Use in pasta, cream sauces, or soup. Morel, they taste nutty or meaty. You can use them in creamy sauces, egg dishes, or as stuffing. Enoki, they taste delicate. You can use them in soups and salads or Japanese cuisine. Oyster mushrooms, delicate and sweet, sometimes with a mild anise-like flavor. You can use them in stir fries. Porcini, meaty, nutty, creamy. You can use them in meat dishes, soups, and sauces. Maitake, aka hen of the woods, rich, earthy, delicate. You can use them in soups and stir fries. Matsutake, sweet and spicy. You can use them in soup or saute. I've never seen this type of mushroom before, and the fact that they're spicy makes me want them. But anyways, wood ear fungus, mild, slightly bitter. You can use them in stir fry and soup. Black trumpet, robust, especially when dried. Use, saute with meaty fish or couscous. Chanterelle, delicate with slightly floral, fruity, peppery notes. You can use them in pasta or cream sauces. There you go. I don't eat mushrooms that much, but I feel like depending on the mushroom, the consistency is just gonna be wildly different. And if, like me, you struggle with consistency, you may or may not struggle with some of these. You know, but if you're kind of looking into different food types and you're kind of wanting to experiment a bit, this might be a helpful overview. You know? Anyways, that was all the guides. I instinctively wanted to say memes, but this wasn't actually memes, like at all. But anyways, that's all the guides I have today. Feel free to check out the subreddit, because there are so many more. There were like guides about like which color combinations are most used in flags for countries and stuff like that. So if you're just like bored or into kind of like guides or overviews into things, feel free to visit the subreddit, you know? So anyways, I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you're hydrated. If not, maybe go drink something now. And I'll be back in a few days with my next video.